Agriculture groups are praising the U.S. Trade Representative's move to hold Canada responsible for USMCA violations, challenging the country's revised tariff rate quota allocation measures. Well, Shawna Morris with the National Milk Producers Federation and U.S. Dairy Export Council joins us now with the latest insight. And Shawna, thanks for your time here this morning. Now, can you give us just a little brief background on this situation and how we got here?
Sure, my pleasure, and thanks for having me here. In a nutshell, the U.S. struck a deal with Canada and the USMCA-Canada agreement, and ever since that FTA was implemented, Canada has been doing its best to try to wriggle out of that. We already had one dispute settlement case, so a lawsuit effectively against Canada for not living up to the dairy market access it promised to provide. The U.S. won that at the very start of 2022 that was announced. And so after that, we saw essentially not much of anything at all from the Canadians. Minor changes, not much that actually makes a difference for our exporters, which is why the U.S. government went back again. And we've been working with them over the past year in order to bring a second case to expand the scope here and ensure that we actually follow through on ensuring that Canada gives the access they promised that they would.
So this latest move by the U.S. Trade Representative's office, what does this mean for dairy producers? What kind of optimism does it bring to the industry that they're trying to take this to the bottom line, I guess?
Yeah, I think it's good signs on multiple fronts. With the country we're talking about here, with Canada, it's certainly a strong market that we think there's ample opportunity in if we're able to take full advantage of the U.S.-Mexico-Canada agreement export access that Canada promised to give. So the case gives us a better shot at being able to increase those exports and hit those maximum volume amounts. The other good sign, though, I'd say for dairy farmers is simply that the administration is being willing to take seriously holding our trading partners' feet to the fire. You know, we give them a fair amount of grief about the fact that they're not moving forward with any new free trade agreements, for instance, which we'd really love to see and remind them continuously. But the other slice of trade issues really is making sure that we are able to take advantage of the access we're already supposed to have. So this is strong follow through that we think sets a good precedent, not just with the Canadians, but with all of our other export markets as well.
So what are the next steps? Where do we go from here?
So what just got announced is the formation of a panel, so a set of judges to hear this case out. That'll then go through over the next several months, a series of briefings being submitted and then oral arguments before the panel of judges before they render a verdict, probably around end of third quarter or so this year. Canada has a small window of time to comply after that, and if they don't, then the U.S. has the right to levy retaliation against the Canadians. That's not what we're hoping we end up with, though. What we're hoping to see is follow through from the Canadians and a robust case that forces that.
All right. Well, thank you very much for the update. We appreciate it. Senior Vice President for Trade with the National Milk Producers Federation and the U.S. Dairy Export Council, Shawna Morris, connecting with us today out of Arlington.